Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thanks for joining us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Urbanization, migration and globalization have changed the nature of work in modern times. Advancements in technology such as artificial intelligence and 5G cell phone network are affecting the speed and quality of outputs for the better. More can be done in less time with better outcomes. The pace and intensity also have an effect on the health of employers and employees. But work brings in an income and may help contribute to one's identity. According to the World Health Organization, almost 60% of the world population is in work, and each person has the right to a safe and healthy working environment. Approximately 15% of working-age adults had a mental disorder in 2019. Globally, about 12 billion working days are lost every year to depression and anxiety at a cost of $1 trillion per year in lost productivity. My guest is consultant psychiatrist and medical director at Pinnacle Medical Services in Lagos. She's also the convener of the Mental Health Conference. Dr. Memuna Kadiri, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here after a long time.
Oh, yes. It's lovely to see you in person.
In person, yeah.
I want to ask, from the, intro, work gives people an identity.
Yep.
How does work help the mental health?
Awesome. You and I right now and every other person watching, listening to us that is of a productive work age group, 2/3 of your waking hours, you spend it in the workplace. So if you sleep 6 hours, that means 18 hours is your waking hours. 2/3 of that 18 hours, you are spending it in the workplace. So that means it's significant that wherever you are working is safe enough for you, is nurturing enough for you, is healthy enough for you, not only to be in the default survival mode, but a place where it can give you that so comfort for you to also thrive and flourish. So a working environment that is not healthy, that is not safe, that is not conducive in a way, filled up with an harassment, bullying, work overload, it affects your mental health. Likewise, on the flip side,
if it is good?
If it is good, yes, it helps you. Environment. So it doesn't mean that you are earning more or you are earning good makes it equivalent to having a good mental health.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. That's why you see there was a time that somebody tweeted that 850,000 naira salary in Lagos versus 150,000 naira salary in Abuja. She would prefer to be in Abuja than in Lagos.
Wow.
And everywhere went bizarre because we're like, what do you mean? That's a significant 600,000 naira difference. How can you say that? People want to really be in a place that is safe. Okay. So it's safe spaces we are looking for. Okay. It's not only places that where you earn more, places that can hear you, that can listen to you, that can empower you.
But just to digress a bit, I know we're talking about work, but can a person who is a homemaker see herself as somebody who works and therefore, she's productive and
you're talking to us. You're talking to all the women, all the mothers that are not like
because some people say you don't do anything.
And that is very demeaning, disrespectful, and it's not a good thing because try do that work that woman has been doing and you know what it is. We also know that there are some men that are house husbands that are doing that, right?
So we are not talking terrific.
Yes, stay at home moms, stay at home dads, they are doing a whole lot. They should see themselves doing work. They shouldn't see themselves as if they are just, they're doing this is what I am supposed to do. See it as a job that is not only just you just doing, but also having fun while doing it. The reason why we always feel as if we are overwhelmed and others are, nobody's helping me, I'm the natural bearer and rearer, so I'm supposed to do this work. You do a lot, running around with children, feeding them, beating them, it's a whole lot. People prefer to do a 9 to 5.
So homemaker
Oh,
we see you.
We see you. We hear you.
You're included in this conversation.
You are. You are. We bless you because it's a lot of work, truly.
All right. So what are peculiar work challenges that affect mental health in Nigeria?
A lot. So it depends. So this year's theme for the World Mental Day, we are talking about to prioritize workplace mental health. The truth is that the first 1 year in COVID-19, there was an increase, 25% increase in the rate of anxiety and depression.
Wow.
Affecting more women and children. And we understand that with the loneliness, isolation, that messed up a lot of people's psychic, right? And we understood that conversation about mental health has increased. But stigma, discrimination is still not allowing people to express themselves. Workplaces, right, there's a lot of downsizing now. I love the fact that your intro talked about urbanization and migration. We also are expressing it here in Nigeria, the Jackpot syndrome, right?
Oh, yes.
The truth is that with that migration, we are seeing, apart from on this side, downsizing, so a job that is for 10 people is now reduced to like 5 or 3 people doing that same job. On the other side, the human resources are not even available. There are some places that have a lot of job slots.
Nobody to
do the work. Either people are not employable enough to do it, or the people that are employable are not available to take up that job. So work overload is a big issue in the workplace right now. We cannot talk about this. I think one of these themes for the year should be about harassment in the workplace. There's so much bullying and harassment in the workplace. Up, down, peers at the same level, or even down up, because the person down has a big oga, big madam. Yes, big oga, big madam.
Okay,
that
godfather.
That if you talk to me, I'm going to tell my godfather or godmother to deal with you, right? So there's that, but of course, most people look at it from up, down. But a lot goes on in the peer group.
How does one begin to deal with this?
In the workplace, right, we have to start talking about it. We have to normalize mental health conversations. So my mantra is normalizing mental health conversations by building a culture of compassion. Building a culture of compassion in the workplace is very important. When that culture of compassion is built and normalizing mental health conversation, it makes it easier for people to speak up, speak out, and also encourage help-seeking behavior. Because you may understand that somebody is dealing with issue now, and you don't want to say because you don't want to be the one to say this is what it is. Okay. But when the conversations are normalized, it's easy for me to say, Mr. XYZ, this, you need this, I notice this. And that is where I always preach about one method where in the workplace we should all deploy. And for everybody watching and listening to me now, please deploy this one method. It's called the I see you method. Okay. I see you.
Okay.
So people will say, oh, I see you, intensive care unit. Please, is I see you, meaning the I is identified that there's a problem. You've identified that this person is dealing with these issues. This person you employed maybe 2-3 years ago, but in recent times, 2-3 months ago, 2-3 weeks ago, you noticed there were changes. So you've identified there's a problem.
Okay, so
the C
maybe
is connect.
A bubbling person is
now
suddenly
withdrawn. Not a good team player again, not interacting more, job are now waiting because a lot. Okay. The C, connect with that person. You may connect with that person in the workplace, outside the workplace, depending on the level you are in.
Okay, like after work, let's meet someplace.
God bless you. Let's talk. And the U is, while you are with that person, try as much as possible to listen, not judgmentally, and understand. That is you. Understand what the person is dealing with. Understand to, not to respond, but understand to know the person's pain points.
Okay.
Because we are very quick to respond.
When you have known the pain points, what's the next step? The
next thing is that sometimes you do not even need to do anything.
Really?
Yes. I'm telling you, the person is... So it takes a lot of courage.
Just need a listening ear.
Yes. Finish.
And to feel I'm not
alone.
Odd.
I'm not odd. I'm not alone. And the truth is that we are not alone in our problems. It's just that where is that safe space that you can open up and speak and people can listen to? If you tell me now that you have a loan of 20 million, if you tell me, will I give you the money? No.
Definitely
not. No. So I'm just listening to you that, oh, you have this loan.
But you might suggest to me where I could get them.
Exactly. Options. Look at where you are coming from. What you already have on ground. How did you even get this money? What can you do? I'll just give you options.
Or maybe you don't even need it. This is what you need to do.
Exactly.
And your problem will be solved.
So this is why I say I see you is very important. It's a very simple way of just in the workplace, because you may not really know. Workplace, people say, come, do your work and go, don't make friends. But we have lifetime friendships in the workplace. Truly, because some people believe that
you spend almost all your life there.
Two-thirds of your waking hours you are spending
No, but
there.
come to think of it, wouldn't it be bad if you spend 2/3 of your day in a place
and
half of your life
enough, exactly.
and you didn't make a friend?
You are definitely going to be like outliner or somebody by the side that you lack emotional intelligence, which encompasses empathy. So if you are just come do your work and go, it doesn't make sense. We know that depression still takes a bulk of what happens in the workplace, where people are dealing with a lot of mental health issues. But in recent times, substance abuse is a big deal. I will tell you, Mary, in Nigeria, let's take Lagos, for example, we are seeing quite a number of people working in corporate organizations. They may not drink Monday to Friday, but by Friday after work, you see that TGIF, thank God it's Friday, they will binge drink.
And that's
Sunday morning.
And that's because of anxiety?
Yeah. Stress, anxiety. They want to get out of that state. They want a better mood. They want to be happier. They want to be productive. They'll binge drink into work. Start Monday again till Friday and continue like that. So by the time we are seeing them in places like our own center, they're already gone. They're already addicted. They're not just dependent or they're having tolerance issues. They're already addicted to a substance. So we also need to understand that some people that are productive Monday to Friday, by that Friday to Monday, the following Monday, they have done a whole lot because the work environment, they're just pushing. Oh, it's Monday, yes, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
And it's just because they don't feel safe.
They don't feel safe
in the work environment.
So we must talk about mental health in our workplace. We must support employees in our workplace. 20% of Nigerians are dealing with mental health related issues.
But you see, in a workplace, let's be practical. Everybody has a different sort of job.
Exactly.
So who's going to do all this listening, helping, referring?
Good.
You know?
That's why we have HR. So let's start with the HR. Apart from looking at the top management level, who are the orgas and whatever management team, the HR head is also part of the management team, right? Start with that. The HR team has every department or whatever unit also has managers. So we are advocating that train managers in the workplace, train supervisors in the workplace, and it's as basic as mental health first aid. They are the gatekeepers. Gatekeepers in the sense that when you train them on how to elicit early signs and symptoms, what to see, how to deploy the in-depth of the ICU, because that was just very surface, how to deploy it, it will help. It will cascade down to the bottom level. So when they see somebody who is struggling, it's easy for them to refer. And I will tell you, there's a service to help people in the workplace. It's called Employees Assistance Program, EAP.
Okay, a whole department.
A whole, yes.
Devoted to that.
But you must not have it in the house as internal. You can outsource it externally to people who know how to deploy those services to your employees in the workplace. What does it do? It's a safe space for your employees and their family members. It's highly confidential, no judgment from the therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist seeing you, and it's free from any of those therapists to be apostolic towards anyone.
So it's like just going to the hospital.
Exactly.
Except that it's EAP.
Except it's EAP. And you do not even need to go there physically. It's telephonic.
So it's like a 911 call.
It's 911. I'll give you a typical case. I'll give you a typical case. We are dealing with 27 corporate organizations right now in Nigeria at Pinnacle Medical Services, managing over 3 million Nigerians and their family members.
And their family members.
Yes. So those companies are like bringing you have 200 employees, you are bringing it to those employees' families. Like it's like insurance. So this is called EAP, it's like insurance. And what does that now do is that we now have a call center.
Okay.
So where the therapists are 24/7. So it's a service that even if it's 1 a.m., Mary, you want to cry to us, call us and cry.
Wow.
Because you don't have a trusted family member, colleague, somebody that you can call.
That you can unburden yourself to.
So you can vent, you can cock your emotions, talk to us. Because you won't be judged, you won't be criticized. And we're not going to write back to your company and tell them that you called us.
Oh, this is even without the knowledge of the company.
Yes, we sign a service, we sign an agreement.
Dr. Bebuda, let's go on a break first. We're going on a short break. Please join us on the other side. Welcome back. It's Health Matters on Channels Television, and we're talking about prioritizing mental health in the workplace. If you have a question on the topic, the number to call is 0808-054-2233. You can also send a message on X at CTV_Mary A, or send a message by email to moalale@channelstv.com while we continue our conversation with Dr. Memuna Kadiri. So this employee assistance program, is it in all cases that you keep it between you and the patient?
No, not in all cases. If you are a threat to yourself and a threat to somebody in the workplace, or even a loved one, we are bounded by this confidentiality code. Apart from being a physician, we also deploy that confidentiality code in EAP. So, for example, we've had cases where somebody would just drop a note. I'm just letting you know, to the WhatsApp group, I'm just letting you know that I'm ending it all.
Yeah, people do that.
Yes, people do that. So we are calling back. We are going to deploy first aid to that person. But at that point, we also know that we need to get that person to a place of safety. Place of safety. So what do we then do? There's always a link. So anytime we sign the service legal agreement, there's always a link with the person in the HR who we communicate, like a relationship person, manager, right? And say, look, XYZ has called. We need to get to the person right away. Because we don't know this person's house. This person is talking to us and telling us from this organization that they are calling from.
Yes.
So they know the persons, they will check into their board, their whatever database
and get you out the address.
We have gone to people's houses 2 a.m. before. We have gone to people's houses as late as 5 a.m. No, we have gone to people's houses in the heat of traffic where people, Nigerians, especially Lagosians, they won't listen to ambulance. Like, there's an emergency, there's crisis there. These people are lying.
We're trying to make them listen to ambulances.
We've had somebody who got to the Lekki toll gate, who was coming to us, and turned back. We've gotten somebody who sent a message to us that said, I'm going to kill myself. Today is 5th now, 5th of November 2024. And we know that if you say you're going to kill yourself 5th there may be something wrong. And we looked at it. Today is 5th of October. Run. This is a case that we have to run. And that was exactly what happened.
And
we got to the person's place. Yes, we got to the person's place. Has already gotten set aside what she was going to use and everything. So how did people know that? I said 5th. I'm just using, but that was not the day. I said so date, but people came to society. And so this is a service that Nigerians need to know that it's available, and we need to harness it in every workplace. So if we are talking about prioritizing mental health in the workplace, let's also make sure that those services are there, deployed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get this call. Hello.
Yes.
We're getting a call from Abuja. Are you there? It appears Mrs. Mark from Kaduna. I can't hear you very well.
My name is Miss.
Oh, okay.
Mark from Abuja.
Welcome. Please tell us what's your question.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes. Mrs. Mark.
What's your question, Mrs. Mark?
Okay. All right. I want to ask a question. You know, there are situations where people go in workplaces where people go through mental health. They are intimidated by their employer. They work under tense environment, and then they are so scared to even air out their problem, to even stay afraid of what their employee will do to them. Is there a mode or a way they can complain things like this without being disclosed to the public?
Thank you so much. That is such a good question.
Yeah. So working in an environment, your employer is the cause of the issues they are dealing with, but the person can't express herself. Is that what she said?
Yes.
Okay, good.
She's too scared.
She's too scared. Number one, stigma and discrimination to even express herself because she'll be discriminated against in the workplace. She may even lose her job. We've seen cases like that. And then she's too scared to also lose her own job, but her mental health is unstable. You see why EAP is important. You are going to a place where it's confidential. Nobody is going to,
You don't even have to tell your
employer. But again, not everybody has employee assistance program. So what can she do in that regard? The first thing is to take care of yourself. You cannot operate from a place of deficit. You cannot give what you do not have. So number one, self-care, self-preservation. It's not selfishness. So what do you need to do, especially when you know there is a problem? You have to tease down to know the roots. If it's truly the employer that is causing everything, what do you need to do? How do you need to do it?
Some people are so jumbled up with that they can't exactly express or find out
what the issue
cause. But can a doctor tease it out?
Good. So you may not even dash to a doctor. Do you have a trusted colleague or a trusted friend? The word there is trusted because people use it to catch crews and gist, and then you may even lose your job.
Right.
So you have to start with a trusted friend or colleague. This is what you are dealing with, so that it doesn't feel as if you are alone. You may be surprised that this issue they are having,
many
other people are having it. So start with that. And then if you do not think that, you know, you don't have anyone, then you can go to a primary healthcare physician. But of course, the people that are trained for this are people in the mental health space. So a psychologist, a psychiatrist, those who know exactly what you are dealing with. And depression is the highest burden of disability worldwide. So let us not take it for granted.
I want to ask you particularly about, what if this is a person who, you're not having problem with your employer or your colleagues or anything, but you don't really like your job? Can that be a big issue?
Yeah, you must enjoy your job while having fun. The truth is not about the salary, it's not about the remuneration. Are you enjoying your job? You can't just be in a place just because I want to be seen having a job.
It's giving you money.
It's giving me money. No, are you enjoying it? Joy comes from within. And if you are spending 2/3 of your waking hours in a place where you are constantly being unhappy, that can translate to heightened anxiety, overwhelming stress. And if you're already at risk, you may even break down to have depression, anxiety disorder. So no, you need to be in an environment that gives you joy.
Let's talk about the employers for a second before this show ends. Yes, I'm sure some of the employers are going through stuff.
Of course.
Especially when it comes to maybe competition with other people, you know, and all that. How does an employer handle his stress?
It's just the way an employee, you are an employee in that organization.
Okay.
As an employer, I'm an employer of labor, I'm an employee in my organization. So the way I would treat the employee should also be the way you should treat yourself.
What unique challenges could they be having as employers?
Lot. Human resources issues, people make it happen. You can't be the cleaner, the security, the HR person, the accountant. People make it happen. So our biggest challenge in the workplace, the people. So, and because we understand that identity also influences our decision and relationship and overall mental health well-being, people also need to understand who truly they are, authentically.
Please, dwell on this a little bit.
Identity is very important. Identity is something that we all need to, because you must be authentic. And it depends on, because if I ask you, Mary, now, who are you? Who are you?
I'm not going to answer that on air.
Because the truth is that, irrespective of the societal expectation and the cultural issue or whatever you put on it, oh, I'm a newscaster in channel television, take away that, who truly are you? Our identity is very key. And because in the workplace, we have different people coming with different identity, it can inadvertently affect the decisions in the workplace, the relationship you make, and your overall mental well-being. And that is why this year we are talking about identity in our mental health conference.
You are teasing me. You are teasing me.
Yeah, we are talking about
not good.
13th of October, 2024 at Oriental Hotel. We are having our conference.
Do you have, I'm particularly concerned about people with illnesses.
Mental illnesses or physical?
Physical.
Okay.
Like maybe somebody with HIV.
Okay. That also has high stigma and discrimination. But of course, it's better than people with mental illnesses now, you know. Because we've talked about it.
But this person has HIV.
Okay.
How do they handle such a person so that the person doesn't get a mental health problem?
You know, because people that are dealing with HIV, even if they're not having
Should
AIDS,
they disclose? I mean, HIV...
People are disclosing now.
Yes,
it's easy
HIV
to talk
can
about
be
it now.
treated.
Yes.
It's not cured,
yes,
but beaten down to almost unrecognizable level.
The CD count level.
Yeah.
Yes.
So shouldn't it be spoken about?
It should be the way we should be talking about our mental health now.
And the way you say, oh, looks like malaria.
Exactly. So we should, because they are saying non-communicable disease. HIV is an infectious disease, right? But non-communicable disease, we have hypertension, diabetes, cancer.
And
we talk
loads
about
of people have them.
Yes, and they talk about it freely. In fact, somebody with hypertension will say, oh, please go to the hospital, make sure you take your drug. Have you checked your BP? Cancer said, we won't do GoFundMe to make sure the person has, cancerous anti-cancer drugs to make sure the person gets away. But I come and say I have depression or I have bipolar. Any little thing I not do in the workplace, they are using it against me. It's because she don't take her medication. Or it's because, she's bipolar now, so this is another phase of it. No, we have to normalize mental health issues in the workplace so that people can speak up and speak out and get the help they need and they deserve. And the truth is that if you do not encourage help-seeking people, help-seeking behavior people to go to the right places and the right time, and of course the right time, which is now, they will suffer. And we are losing 12 billion work days per year.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. We have to close it now. Thank you for being there with us. We hope you act on this and have a wonderful day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.